close your eyes and make yourself impossible. Pull up your feet with your hands until you're right up off the ground, and then float out the door and into the sky. Melvin and Mother and Meryl and Father were walking up the driveway to Otto's mansion after coming back from Sweden. "Oh, it's such a great place, this one," said Meryl. "It's a shame Otto's gone to the future now, so he doesn't have any use for it." "I know," said Father. "Oh well, let's see what happens when we go inside." They made their way up to the front door, and Father knocked. The door creaked open, and there was a man. "Hello," said the man. "My name's Alfredo. I'm the butler." "Oh," said Mother, "I don't remember seeing you last time we were here." "No," said Alfredo. "I was actually on holiday when you were here. Now, where's Otto? Has he come back too?" "Oh," said Father, "Otto said he's not coming back." "Oh, I thought this might be the case," said Alfredo. "Don't worry, he's given me clear instructions to open in this envelope here for what's to happen if he doesn't come back." Right, Alfredo pulled out an envelope and he opened it up. Right, it says here that the mansion and everything in it is going to be going into the care of Father. Does anybody know who Father is? I presume it's not Otto's father, because he's long gone. That's me," said Father. "Oh, okay. Well, I'll get you the keys." And Alfredo went and got the keys and came back and handed them to Father. Father felt a bit strange taking the keys for Otto's giant mansion. "Oh, thank you," he said. "Well," said Alfredo, "along with the mansion, you get to know about all its many mysteries." "Oh, mysteries," said Meryl. "I like mysteries." "Oh, so do I," said Melvin. "What sort of mysteries?" asked Father. "Oh, well, there's a few to show you." Just then there was a strange beeping sound. "Beep, beep, beep, beep." "Oh, that's the first one now," said Alfredo. "Haven't heard that phone ring for a while." "Okay, follow me." They followed Alfredo down the hallway and through a doorway into the study. There are lots of books up on the walls. And there on the table was a flashing red phone. Alfredo went over to it and picked up the handset. "Hello," said Alfredo. "Yes." "I." "Right." "Oh, okay." "Right, okay, I'll let them know. Thank you." And he hung up the phone. "Well, what was that about?" asked Mother. "Well, that was the police commissioner from Berlin, the capital city of Germany." "Ooh," said Meryl. "That sounds important." "Aye, it is," said Alfredo. "He said he needs you to come now and stop the criminal mastermind who calls himself Eurovision." "Eurovision?" said Mother. "I've seen that movie. That's the one with that Fire Saga band. I quite like them. I like their songs." "No, not the movie." "Oh, the song competition then," said Father. "Eurovision." "Actually, no," said Alfredo. "This criminal mastermind, he calls himself Eurovision, but he's named himself after those things, I think. Anyway, he's taken over the State Mint of Berlin, and he's captured the chief money printer, whose name is Basil." "Ooh," said Melvin. "So what do we have to do?" "You have to go and stop him and rescue Basil." "Wait a minute," said Father. "We have to go do that? Why is that?" Oh, said Alfredo, part of taking over the mansion was you take over the role of Otto. What role's that? Pigman, said Alfredo. He's Pigman. What do you mean, Pigman? Asked Father. Well, you know, like Batman, but it's Pigman. Oh, they all said. That's pretty cool, said Father with a big grin. Right, so how do we do this? Well, said Alfredo, you'll need to go down to the pig cave. The pig cave? Said Father, looking very excited. Oh, there's a pig cave, said Merrill. How do we get there? Oh, I know, said Mother. What? Said Alfredo. How do you know? Well, last time I was here, when we were here for a little while, I started looking around and poking around, and I saw this room here with all these books on the walls. And look, some of them look like they might have lollies inside. You know how sometimes people cut holes out of books to make hidden compartments? So I was having a look through and I found this one does this funny thing. Mother walked over to the bookshelf and she reached for a book called Moby Dick. And she pulled the book and suddenly the whole bookshelf slid to one side and revealed in behind there 2 fireman poles going down. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This is great, said Father. All right. So, said Alfredo, I think it's probably best, looking at each of them, if Father and Mother, if you each go down that pole, he said, pointing to the left one, and Merrill and Melvin, you take the right pole. Okay, they said. So Father and Merrill went first, and they went whee down the pole. Part way down, there was suddenly a whoomp, and they felt themselves getting pulled in all directions. But then when they got to the bottom, and they looked at each other, they were wearing costumes, like Batman's costume, only with pig themes. Look out below, came a voice from above, as Mother and Melvin came hurtling down the poles behind them. Father and Merrill quickly got out of the way. Mother had decided in her wisdom to go down head first, so she came out looking a bit strange with the costume on upside down. It was quite funny. They had a good laugh. Oh, cool, look at this, said Melvin, looking around them. They were in a big cave underground under the mansion, and there were lots of flashing panels with computery things and stuff. Whoa. Wow, said Merrill. This stuff looks really old. How old is this? Well, said Alfredo, who'd appeared from the stairwell beside them. This was all built in the 1980s by Otto, trying to copy what he saw on the 1960s TV show of Batman. He's pretty awesome, said Father, looking around. Oh, look at that! There's the Batmobile. Actually, said Alfredo, that's the Pigmobile. It was a great big long car with funny, it was pink, and it had funny shaped windows over the top of it with a compartment on each side, so there was room for 2 people in it, one the driver and the passenger. Wow, they all said. This is amazing, said Melvin. Right, so you know what you've got to do now? What's that then, said Melvin. You've got to go, said Alfredo, in the the Pigmobile, and go to Berlin and stop Eurovision from his dastardly schemes in the State Mint of Berlin, where they make the money. They make the money, said Mother. What do you mean they make the money? Do you mean they earn lots of money there? No, said Alfredo, that's where they print the money that everybody uses. Ooh, that's strange, said Mother. Right, so how will we do this? It's a 2-seater car, said Father, and there's 4 of us. I like driving, said Mother. Well, I suppose, said Father, maybe what we'll do is if you take the Pigmobile and I'll take my plane and we'll meet together in Berlin somewhere at a lake. Oh, I know a good lake, said Alfredo. I'll tell you about it later. Okay, said Father. Alfredo went away to get a pen and paper so he could write down where the lake was. Right. They spent the next 20 minutes gathering together a bunch of different equipment from around the pig cave. Once they were ready, Father and Merrill went back upstairs to go to get the airplane, and Mother and Melvin got in the Pigmobile. Right, look at this thing, it's great, said Mother. Now how do we get to Berlin? Well, said Alfredo, it's 247 kilometers. 247 kilometers, said Melvin. That's going to take a long time. Well, said Alfredo, the nice thing about Germany is that we've got these autobahns. An autobahn, said Mother. I think I've heard of those. Aye, said Alfredo. This one between here and Berlin, a big chunk of it, there's no speed limit. No speed limit, said Mother with a big grin. She was getting very excited now. All right, well, make sure you don't prang the car. Don't put any scratches on it then, said Alfredo. Okay, said Mother. Run! She turned on the car. There was a big flame that suddenly blasted out the back of it. Whoa, this is awesome, said Mother. Right, now push that button in the cockpit of the car to make the doors open so you can get out, the garage door open. Okay. Melvin pushed the button and there was a noise. And up ahead at the end of the cave, they could see a door open. Right, let's go, called Mother. And she gunned the engine and they zoomed off. Out through the doorway, which led out from behind some bushes that were hiding the exit from the cave. And they went bouncing their way across some dirt for a bit and onto the road. And they were off. All right, this is great, said Mother. This car is amazing. Look at this. Oh, what do these buttons do? Oh, probably best we leave them alone, I think, for now, Mother. Let's just get to Berlin. Okay. She drove up onto the entry ramp onto the Autobahn. All right. She made her way onto the Autobahn, changed lanes, and then zoom! Something zipped past them very quickly. What was that? Said Melvin. Oh, that was my competition, said Mother. Hold on to your butt, Melvin. She planted her foot on the accelerator and a massive flame came blasting out the back of the car as it accelerated at a crazy rate. Whoa! Went Melvin. Zoom, zoom, zoom! All the vehicles on the Autobahn went zipping past them at great speed. Actually, they weren't going at a great speed past them. Melvin and Mother were going at a great speed past the cars. It was a very quick drive to Berlin. They did the 247 kilometers they had to drive in approximately 47 minutes. Melvin felt a little bit exhausted by the end of it, but Mother was very keen to do more. No, Mother, we've got to stop. Remember, we got to meet up with Father. Okay, said Mother. Just one more lap. I'll just do one last lap of the lake while we wait for them to get here. And it was true. Father and Merrill hadn't even made it here yet, and they were on the plane. After a couple more minutes, the plane landed on the water, or the plane watered, and Mother and Melvin finished their last victory lap of the lake. They came to a stop, and they all gathered together to work out what they were going to do. Oh, that car is amazing, said Mother. Aye, it looks like you had a great time, said Father. Merrill said, we were watching you from the plane. You were like this big blast of flame going down the Autobahn. It was pretty amazing. Oh, it was fantastic, said Mother. What did you think, Melvin? Did you have a good time? Yes, said Melvin. still a little bit shaken from the experience. All right, said Father, I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I think this could be a dangerous mission. Right. Dangerous, my middle name, said Mother. I know, said Father, but I think we might need to be a little bit careful with this one. So maybe what we'll do is if I go in first with Meryl and we scope out the situation and then we call you with instructions of what to do. Are you sure about that, Father? Asked Melvin. I mean, there's enough costumes here for all of us. We've all got one. Well, that's true, said Father, but I'd hate to see anything bad happen to you two, you know. Well, what about me, said Meryl. Oh, you can take care of yourself, Meryl. Aye, that's true, said Meryl with a grin. Right. They had their plan worked out. A few minutes later, they were outside the State Mint of Berlin. Father and Meryl had the suction cups on their knees, on their trotters, and they started going up the side of the mint. This is great, said Father. I've never had a try on these before, you know. Oh, said Meryl. Yeah, I love them. They're great fun, aren't they? Right. I think that's where we want to go in. Level 3. That's what Alfredo said is where they think that Basil is being held. Okay. Meryl stopped at the window on level 3 and she pulled out a funny tool from her belt. It was a glass cutter. It made this noise as she pushed it like a pencil, pushing very hard with a pencil. She drew a big circle on the window. All right, said Father. Now let's pop it out. Okay, said Meryl. Father got a mallet out of his pouch, out of his tool utility belt, and he tapped it on the glass in the middle of the circle, and the whole thing went dink and came away. They used the suction cup to carry it inside the window and place it gently on the table that was just inside. Okay, I'll go in first, said Father. Father made his way in. Meryl hopped in behind him. All right, now let's have a look out over that ledge there. They made their way over to a window where there was a ledge and they could look out. They could see across and down below in a big room. There was a massive printing machine, a money printing machine. And there was the money printer named Basil. They could tell because even from this distance his name badge was visible. Oh, there's Basil, said Meryl. Right, how do we rescue him? Said Father. How indeed, said Meryl. How indeed, said a voice behind them. How indeed? Asked Father. They turned around, and there were 6 big burly men standing there grinning at them. Ha, ha, ha! You're coming with us, Pigman, and little wee Piggy Wiggy. Little wee Piggy Wiggy, said Meryl. Is that really what your sidekick's called, Pigman? Aye, apparently, said Father. Oh, I think we've not done this very well here, getting caught like this. No. They got taken down into the big room with the money printer that was working away furiously and brought to a man who looked a little bit crazy. Hello, Pigman and little Piggy Wiggy. Welcome to the Mint. I'm Eurovision, but I'm sure you already knew that. I guess we could probably work it out, said Father, because of all the words on your costume saying Eurovision. Oh, great spotting, Pigman, said Eurovision. Now, I'm glad you came, so you could see for yourself the wondrous thing I'm doing. What are you doing? Asked Meryl. I'm going to print so much money, so many euros, and then I'll spend them all. Oh, okay. Is there something wrong with that? Said Merrill. What do you mean, is there something wrong with that? Said Eurovision. This is a criminal endeavour. Of course I'm not meant to be doing this. Well, why not? Asked Father. Isn't that what these machines are for? Well, I mean, but it's different. I'm going to use the money instead of the government. Oh yeah, said Merrill, but it doesn't matter, does it? You're just printing some stuff. Who cares? Well, said Eurovision, you clearly have not been educated. When I print lots of money here, or when even the bank print lots of money, it means there's more money. And that means that all the other money becomes worth a bit less because there's more money, but there's the same amount of stuff to buy with it. So the price of everything goes up. But I get to print the money for free, whereas all the other people, they have to work for it. Oh, that is a dastardly thing, said Merrill. I said Father, I'd never thought about it like that. But isn't that what the government does anyway? Well, yes, said Eurovision, but now I get to be the government. Oh, okay. This is very confusing, you know, said Merrill. Right, okay, well, I've enough of this chit-chat. Henchmen, take them over to the 500 euro printer and tie them on there ready to get printed. Oh, that doesn't sound good, does it, Father? Said Merrill. No, it doesn't sound good at all, said Merrill. They got taken away over to the 500 euro printer. Eurovision couldn't help himself. He was had such a passion for his topic. He said, now you might be wondering why I'm called Eurovision. Oh, well, that's a good idea, a good thought, said Father. I hadn't actually wondered. Oh, but I'm wondering now, said Father, thinking this might add a bit of time, stalling him to get him to tell a big long story. Well, the reason is, said Eurovision, I have visions or dreams of having lots of euros. Oh, said Merrill, that's not a very interesting story, you know. You could have chosen a much more interesting name, like Frank, the Frankfurter Muncher. Aye, that's right, said Father. Or what about Poopy McFartalot? That would be a fun name. Oh, you people have no idea, said Eurovision. Right, lash them on to this 500 euro printer. Oh, this printer seems awfully dusty, said Father. Has it not been used much lately? He was really trying to stall for time. No, that's right, said Eurovision. They stopped making these 500 euro notes lately, a few years ago, because they don't want people to be able to spend their money without the banks knowing where it's going. So now they make people pay for things only online so they can track everything. Oh, but that's not very private, is it? Said Merrill. What if I'm buying things that I don't want the government to know about? Things that they have no business in knowing about. Well, that's tough, said Eurovision. Unless you're me and you can print your money for free. Now, lie down there and let us tie you up. Okay, said Father, but I don't know if this is a very good idea. Well, said Eurovision, it's not a good idea for you, but it's a great idea for me, because you'll be gone very soon. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, that doesn't sound very good, does it, Father? Said Merrill. No, said Father. The henchman tied them up and put them onto the paper that was about to go through the printing press. Right, turn on the printer, called out Eurovision. Could this be the end of Pigman and little Piggy Wiggy? Will Melvin and Mother get another turn in the awesome Pigmobile? Will Basil, the money printer, ever get rescued? Tune in next time for answers to all of these questions and more. Same pig time, same pig channel. And that's the end of tonight's story. Good night.